What is up, For Honor brothers and sisters? In this one, I continue the breakdown of these For Honor hero classes. In this case, it is the heavies, as I try to help you find the next hero you try, or possibly discover something interesting about another hero that will help you have a more fun experience in the game, and in some rare team matches, even domination. So, in its current state, For Honor has 9 heavies: Conqueror, Blackbriar, Warlord, Jormungandr, Varangian Guard, Shugoki, Hitokiri, and Jiang Jun. The heavy heroes are ready to bring the heat, I'm telling y'all, and in many cases, they are willing to take one to give one, knowing theirs would probably hurt more. But we're going to start with Conqueror. So Conqueror is part of the Knight faction, and you wouldn't like him when he's orange. You won't hear any tin can jokes here because this container unit is always ready to test your mettle. But don't run from him, that would just make him sad. Okay, seriously, that was a joke in case y'all don't know. I'm not gonna explain it. Y'all probably get it. So Conqueror is a tank that any teammate would love to have on their side when they're in a zone. He's a consistent threat to hammer you with an array of unblockable attacks or feint them, and he can do it either offensively or defensively. What he lacks in mobility, he makes up for by being dangerous. To even consider attack him thanks to his full guard, and he's not a gender lock hero in case you were curious. So with his moveset, you see so much orange in Conq's moveset, you think he'll be unstoppable. But once you hit the battlefield with him, reality sets in. You will notice that he has an infinite chain and plenty of methods to counter and uses unblockables, but he has nothing to chase down opponents. Nothing, which make him a little lumbering when you're talking about your team fights. You may feel like a step behind. You have to counter that by thinking steps ahead, because he is a tank and you can make life very difficult for the opposing team or player, either solo or with your teammates. His team fight benefit is Conq's Bash offers a free unblockable and a chance for teammates to provide some damage. He has feats that can work for your team, but his best feats work out for him individually first and then team second. So if you want to tank your way around the battlefield in a more judicious pace, charging up your Waiata unblockable, choose Conq. Take the time to learn him and use him wisely. You may be surprised how fun he can be. Next, we'll discuss Blackbriar. So Blackbriar, or BP, is part of the Knight faction. This hero is a pancake waiting to happen, one of the most elite heavies in the game, in part to how versatile the hero plays. BP has everything needed to not only be a good 1v1 player, but also excel in team fights. It's tough to find a weakness in the darkness, and BP is not gender locked. Some standouts in his moveset is of course the Bulwark stance and counter that allows BP to counter everything but guard breaks and Nusha traps after an attack, and you don't have to worry about bashes. BP can flip those no problem as well. The crushing counters in all directions, the forward dodge bash and zone bash are all tools BP used to control the action or make things uncomfortable for his opponent. So this team fight benefits is BP is an equal opportunity flipper. Everyone can get it at the same time. So don't get too antsy with this hero. Feats work nicely to provide shields, remove revenge shield from an opponent at a critical time if needed, and overall provide good synchronization for the hero and team to come out on the winning side. If you want a knight that's heavy, that doesn't feel like the word suggests, choose Blackbriar and get your spatula ready. So next, let's quickly discuss Warlord. Warlord is a part of the Viking faction. He doesn't mind changing into the fray and ledging someone any chance he gets. He has no issues sitting in a squat during a battle, playing a mind game with his opponents. His shield is a great utility for him that he uses to block, bash, counter bash, or shove enemies all over the place. Warlord is gender locked. Now with his moveset, Warlord can squat in full guard as long as he likes, as I was saying. Unlike BP, he can't flip or throw an unblockable out of it, but he blocks your incoming attack while in full guard. He gets a free light, or he can throw out a heavy attack. He doesn't have to commit to anything. He can just sit in and taunt you for more, and when you try to run, he can throw out a zone that's undodgeable. That's a good thing to have. That undodgeable zone that he has is great. It works very well. He can chase players with the forward dodge heavy and go right into a headbutt afterwards. Warlord also has a crushing light counter in any direction to keep players thoughtful on how they attack, so be wary. He's very versatile. He's a versatile heavy. Team fight benefits, depending on how you structure your Warlord or you want to play your Warlord, you can decide how team friendly he is. Most of his feats are individually based first and assisting the team second. However, passive revive can still be a huge benefit to a team in breach matches, but look no further than Warlord when you're looking to take charge of the battlefield. Now we'll get into Jormungandr. So Jormungandr is part of the Viking faction. This hero is also not gender locked, and it's always hammer time with this hero. Jorm smash should be a thing, because if Jorm catches you on the ground, best believe a scream is coming followed by a hammer on you. Jorm has a zone attack that helps him continue his attack, stamina permitting, bashes that can heal the hero or open up an opportunity to receive a shield, unblockable, solid movement, uninterruptible attacks, and woo! I'm telling you, Jorm's tools are threatening, and it can bring some fun times playing whack-a-mole to down players. You know, a lot of you Jorms like to do that. Now, about his moveset, or her moveset, I've already touched on the moveset a bit with what Jorm has. The hero also has chase capability and a forward dodge heavy attack, a chance to side dodge and still punish and start a chain with a dodge light attack. Jorm's light attacks are enhanced, so even if you block them, that's not going to stop future attacks from coming. Another bonus are Jorm's uninterruptible properties that is on the hero's forward dodge heavy, and that's on there for starters / openers, you guys know what I'm saying, and the zone. If you choose, you can also get a bash off a parry, which can come in handy if you have Jorm's tier 1 equipped. That will give you a little bit of health, and if you are bleeding or bleeding out, that could be the difference between life and death, let me tell you. Now in team fights, Jorm's ability to get opponents on the ground not only helps him, but other players ready to get their licks in. You just gotta time the punishments, so Jorm gets a taste first. Jorm's tier 4 Twilight of the Gods Hammer Slam AoE attack is a good attack to use if an enemy goes down after revenge as well, because by the time they get up, they're gonna get hit with that Twilight attack, and it could put them in a really bad place. If you like hammers, whack-a-mole, and a hero that doesn't mind trading to get their offense off, Jorm is worth trying, playing, or jumping back into the play. Next, we're going to talk about the Varangian Guard. So the Varangian Guard is the third added heavy to the Vikings faction. This is a gender lock hero. She is known as a disabler, and that's a proper description, and she will consistently disable your attack with a move called Oathkeeper. No hero skins for this hero, but you have decent fashion choices from the start. As far as Varangian Guard's kit, she's also able to continue her attack if blocked normally, so getting into her offense isn't always overly difficult. She has a bash that provides you a free light. Oathkeeper gives you an opportunity to bash, light, heavy unblockable, or zone out of it. She has superior block on light attacks. When she goes against players with no opener like a Nobushi, it can be very problematic for the Nobushi due to all of her options to attack and cancel recovery into Oathkeeper. So our team fight benefits, Varangian Guard is a support hero, and you want to stay close to her if on her team she has feats that will heal and give an attack boost to her teammates if they're close by. She also has a tier 4 that is an AoE attack and debuffs enemies in range. So if you don't take them out, no worries, the debuff will still help you out in finishing the job. So if you are into a tankier type hero, but like being in a support role, she's a good option to choose. Now let's talk about Shugoki. Shugoki is part of the Samurai faction, the most huggable of the heavies, and quick to give you a squeeze in return. I am not going to go into too much detail with Shugoki, but I'm just going to tell you he has hugs that will heal. He has variable unblockables, in case you didn't know, because Hitokiri has a variable unblockable, which we'll talk about as well, or variable heavies, but also an unblockable with it, just like Hito. He can throw lights after bash. He can throw a light and then bash. That's a lot of Shugokis do that. He can do a side dodge and bash and get his offense off. So that Shugoki's not a hard hero to just pick up and play. So if you like a heavy hero who hits like a tank, not hard to pick up and just play, Shugoki's a good one to try. He's a lovable guy. Like I said, he'll squeeze you in a heartbeat. Next, I'm going to talk about Hitokiri. Hitokiri is part of the Samurai faction. This hero is not gender locked. As if one heavy in the faction with variable time heavies wasn't enough, the dev team said, hold my beer, and produced this monstrosity in Hitokiri. Now, Hitokiri is a new player's dream. One button or trigger, and make sure you block, and you can have success with Hito. Now, of course, there's more to Hito than that, and the hero is tagged as medium for a reason, so just throwing out heavies without thinking or trying to mix things up won't work against better players. Now, just getting into Hito's moveset, Hito can chain heavy into kick on hit or miss, and can throw a light finisher that is super quick. If you're thinking of dodging after a chain attack, you will get hit with that. The hero has a forward dodge heavy to catch rollers and runners, and also has a side dodge heavy that can be chained into more attacks. Now, of course, the biggest threat is that unblockable that Hito can throw at any point in the chain, and guess what? This hero has uninterruptible properties shortly after firing off those heavies also. So a slick ad they made was allowing the kick to be feinted, or you can go into kick and get heavy off of that. And when I say go into kick, I'm talking about his sweep. You can go into Hito's sweep. Hito is always a threat due to his set unblockable, especially in team fights. The feats for this hero are meant more for individual success and survival, with a secondary effect on the team, especially if you're successful. Depending on your playstyle, you could choose a tier 4 that regenerates health when out of lock, or use fear itself when you're heading into a fight to assist to lower the enemy's defenses. So options are there for you. If you want a heavy hero that can trade and doesn't have as much of a learning curve to pick up and just enjoy, Hito's a good choice. So pick this hero up and heavy away. The last heavy we're going to talk about is Jiang Jun, or JJ. Now, JJ is part of the Rulin faction. He's the most nimble of the heavies and probably the most conceited. This hero is gender locked. If you're thinking of playing him, you can think of him as Tiandi's uncle, the way that they both kind of flow on the battlefield, although JJ is less fluid. There are no hero skins for this hero at the time of making this video, but there are many good fashion choices for this dancing bear, let me tell you. Now, in JJ's moveset, JJ has uninterruptible properties on his open or heavy and undodgeable for his heavy finisher. He has a move called Sifu's Poise, where he can quickly regain stamina, and the move also will dodge incoming attacks. He has a side dodge heavy attack where the heavy comes out on the side of the dodge, and he can throw a light to the opposite side or do nothing at all. He can just empty dodge. You can catch rollers with JJ's forward dodge heavy, and he has a forward dodge bash attack that gets him a free light attack. In team fights, JJ is a good support hero. His unique feats are geared to assist his teammates, whether he's providing shields with his tier 4, isolating with his fiery barrage, providing more damage to allies with his tier 1 or tier 2 for that matter, or healing with teammates with his tier 3. There are plenty of options to support your team. It's up to you how you perform with those abilities. So if you're looking for a mobile, playful, heavy, with good fashion, and enjoy a support role, he's a great choice for you. And that concludes the heavies in For Honor at this time. Hope you're able to better decipher what fits you and why to make the game more enjoyable for you. That's what this is all about. So which heavy is your favorite and why? I would love to hear your thoughts on For Honor's heavy options in the comments. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, y'all. Peace. Ooh, I got a parry without it. Oh, here we go. JJ execution. Nice, nice. Victory. It's kind of fun, man. It's kind of fun. And I hope the guy or person I'm going against is not taking any of this personal. This is nothing personal. I'm just having fun with this.